Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again for more disturbing videos which prove the society we are currently living in cannot be trusted. Let's check this out.
This is the creepy moment. A postman allegedly sniffed a girl's shoe in Aberdeen.
Man sniffed a girl's shoe. How is the postman picking up random shoes and sniffing them? Hold on. That's weird. Hold on. It seemed like he was moving the camera. Was he not just moving the camera there? And how was the camera zooming in and all of that? What type of door camera do these guys have, which he can't see? No way. No way.
Despite the disturbing nature of the video that left a mother horrified, Aberdeen's police force has stated that while they did receive reports of a postman acting suspiciously on Wednesday, August 28th, their inquiries concluded that no criminal activity occurred. They also mentioned that appropriate advice was given. A Royal Mail spokesperson said, "We are aware of the footage circulating on social media. We expect the highest standards from our posties and take any breach of those standards seriously. Local management is aware and is actively carrying out further inquiries."
I don't know what that guy was thinking, but it just proves that we've got some disturbed people out here. Even the postman is sniffing shoes.
A young woman has been remanded into custody after being charged with multiple counts of assault and child cruelty at a private nursery in Twickenham, West London. 21-year-old Roxana Lecker faces 25 charges, including 12 counts of causing unnecessary suffering to a child and 12 counts of assault causing actual bodily harm. The charges relate to incidents allegedly occurring on the 28th of June at Twickenham Green Montessori Nursery, which serves children aged 4 and under. Lecker is also charged with attempting to cause grievous bodily harm, all connected to the alleged abuse of 12 children under her care. Lecker appeared via video link from HMP Bronzefield at Kingston upon Thames Crown Court, where she confirmed her identity. Dressed in a grey jumper with her hair in 2 plaits, she was remanded in custody ahead of her trial, scheduled to begin in February next year. The allegations surfaced after police were notified on the 2nd of July about concerns regarding the welfare of children at the nursery, which follows the Montessori method of education, emphasising children's natural interests over formal lessons. The nursery, which is known for its alternative approach to early childhood education, charges fees ranging from £589 and is a popular choice among local parents.
You can't even trust the teachers in the kindergarten. Look at this. Absolutely disgusting behaviour. 21-year-old abusing children.
This is the horrifying moment a man brutally stabs another in the neck as he walks with a pram and his dog on a Birmingham street during the early hours.
Early hours? What's this guy doing with a pram? Did he have a baby in the pram in early hours? Got the pram out, the dog out? What's going on here? Or was it just a homeless guy that was walking around with a pram trying to collect stuff to put in it?
Disturbing video has surfaced on social media, showing 2 men engaged in a violent altercation, one of whom is with a pram and a pet. The video suggests that the confrontation began before recording started, as one man, male A, is seen placing his pram on the brakes and tying his dog beside it before approaching the other man, male B, and throwing a punch. In response, male B swings a bladed weapon, striking male A in the hand and then more severely in the neck. Male A begins to lose a significant amount of blood before attempting to walk away with his pram and dog, eventually collapsing. Remarkably, an ambulance passing by noticed the collapsed man and immediately activated its lights to assist. Police were then called to the scene at the junction of Dudley Road and Belfield Road around 1:25 a.m. The victim was rushed to the hospital and is surprisingly reported to be in a stable condition. Police have since arrested 4 people and are now appealing for information as investigations continue.
The 4 people have been arrested. That one just doesn't make any sense to me. He approached the guy, threw a punch at him for whatever reason. The guy retaliated, stabbed him, and he passed out. Lucky for him, the ambulance was there.
This man murdered his ex-girlfriend and her 9-year-old son. Daniel Bolton walked 28 miles to murder his ex-girlfriend Bethany Vincent and her 9-year-old son Darren Henson.
No way. He walked 28 miles.
Bolton's relationship with Vincent began in March 2019, but he had become increasingly violent towards her and her family. Following a complaint to police in November 2019, Bolton was ordered not to contact her, but repeatedly broke his restraining order. The weekend before the attack, he sent nearly 900 messages to Vincent on Facebook that she did not reply to. Bolton had also developed a deep hatred for Darren, who was not his son. The 9-year-old had been diagnosed with autism, and Bolton resented DJ and had an irrational fear that such condition would somehow affect his own son in the future. In February 2022, he walked 28 miles from a homeless hostel in Skegness to Ms. Vincent's house in Louth, Lincolnshire. He got in the home and stabbed her 9 times. He then went upstairs to DJ's bedroom and stabbed him 14 times. Both mother and son suffered fatal injuries and were pronounced dead.
Disgusting behavior. Absolutely barbaric.
Bolton fled the scene and spent the night on the run, breaking into an empty cottage where he stole alcohol, clothing, and food and left a note saying, "I, Daniel Bolton, take full responsibility." The next day, PC Stephen Dennis was out walking his 2 dogs when he spotted Bolton and attempted to apprehend him. He was stabbed in the leg as he tried to detain Bolton. He managed to call for backup, who turned up quickly, tasered him, and arrested him. In court, Bolton pleaded guilty to manslaughter mid-trial, but had continued to deny murder, claiming he was suffering from a mental health condition at the time. Daniel Bolton was found guilty of the double murder of Bethany Vincent and her son Darren Henson. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 40 years.
Traveled 28 miles to just stab these people and then try to blame it on a mental health problem. Mate, take accountability. Take accountability.
Police have launched an investigation after "No Whites" was spray painted on multiple buildings, including a primary school. Anti-white graffiti has appeared in 3 locations across Birmingham's Alum Rock neighbourhood, prompting a police investigation. The vandalism, which includes the phrase "No Whites," was found on Langton Road, Farndon Road, and outside a primary school. CCTV footage from August 22nd shows a hooded individual approaching the school's wall in the early morning hours. After checking their surroundings, the person is seen spray painting the offensive message before quickly leaving the scene. While West Midlands police are investigating the incident, they have stated that there is no evidence linking the person in the footage to the other 2 graffiti sites. Authorities are conducting CCTV reviews and have increased patrols in the area. A police spokesperson said, "We are investigating the graffiti incidents in the Alum Rock area and are working to identify those responsible. We are engaging with the community and collaborating with local authorities to ensure the graffiti is swiftly removed."
Some stupid, dumb, naive, uneducated people doing some stupid and silly things. It's absolutely embarrassing.
Female teacher was jailed for having sex with a 14-year-old boy. Fatinam Hussain groomed and had a full-blown affair with a 14-year-old pupil after becoming obsessed with him.
Oh my God, you know how many stories we've heard over the past couple of weeks about teachers grooming kids? What is going on with these teachers? And none of them are men, they're all women.
Relationship came to light after she faked a pregnancy when the boy said he wanted to end the sexual relationship. Hussain
He wanted to end it. I'm surprised he wanted to end it.
was first arrested in June 2020 following a report that she had groomed and had sex with a 14-year-old boy from a school in Horsham where she was working as a cover teacher. A sexual relationship continued for several months during which she continued to manipulate the boy's emotions, including claiming that she was pregnant after he had tried to end the relationship. Hussain was initially released on bail for
This woman is demented.
further investigation. Following this, the victim, his family and friends suffered a prolonged and complex campaign of abusive behavior against them in an attempt to derail the investigation and avoid justice. She then created a number of fake social media accounts using different names, including that of a 14-year-old girl. She contacted a male relative of the boy in a bid to frame him as a paedophile and have him sacked and arrested. This led to her being further charged and remanded until she was convicted. Fatinam Hussain was sentenced to 5 years and 4 months in prison. She will be a registered sex offender indefinitely and will be subject to a sexual harm prevention order for 10 years after she is released from prison.
Now, this is getting extremely worrying. A number of teachers have been caught over the past couple of weeks, months, of grooming young children. What is going on?
This mum has been charged with murdering her 6-year-old son and attempting to kill an elderly man just hours before. Alexander Zurawski was found dead at his home in Swansea on Thursday. Karolina Zurawska, 41, appeared at Swansea Magistrates Court today, charged with murder. She is also accused of attempting to kill a 67-year-old man on the same day.
I just don't understand these people that are always trying. I just don't understand these people that are killing kids. It just doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't make any sense. Every single one of them needs to get put in jail for the rest of their lives. Never been.
Zarowska spoke only to confirm her name, date of birth and address during the brief hearing. She was remanded into custody to next appear at Swansea Crown Court tomorrow.
A 14-year-old boy and a man in his 40s have been stabbed in a targeted attack in Liverpool.
How many stabbings do we hear about every single day?
At around 11:30 p.m. yesterday, Merseyside police received a report of a man in his 40s suffering from stab wounds after being attacked by 3 men who fled the scene in a white VW Polo. The victim was rushed to the hospital with multiple stab wounds, which have since been determined to be non-life-threatening. Approximately an hour later, at around 12:35 a.m. this morning, Merseyside police received another report of a stabbing. Upon arrival at a property on City Road, less than a mile from the first incident, officers found a 14-year-old boy with stab wounds to his chest and arm. The suspects in this attack were also 3 men.
3 men? The same 3 men?
The stabbing reportedly occurred at a property where a house party was taking place. The boy was taken to the hospital, where his condition is believed to be non-life-threatening.
I mean, it's good to hear that it's non-life-threatening, just like the other person as well. But come on, man. A 14-year-old kid being stabbed in the chest.
Police suspect the 2 incidents are connected and are conducting thorough investigations. Meanwhile, a third nearby stabbing is not believed to be related to these attacks at this time.
But there was a third nearby stabbing.
A disabled man using a wheelchair has been stabbed to death in Clapton.
A disabled man using a wheelchair stabbed to death. This is a joke.
Police were called around 3:40 p.m. today to reports of a street fight on Rushmore Road in Clapton. Met officers, along with London Ambulance Service and an air ambulance, attended the scene where they found a severely injured disabled man in his 30s who used a wheelchair. Despite their best efforts, the man was sadly pronounced dead at the scene. A local butcher, who had known the man for about 9 years, described him as a good guy. He expressed his distress over the incident, noting that it also negatively impacts local businesses. Unconfirmed rumours are circulating on social media, including one suggesting that the man was attacked with a large machete. However, authorities have not verified these claims. The victim's next of kin are being notified, and a crime scene has been established. The Metropolitan Police have since arrested 2 men on suspicion of murder, but no further details have been released. Investigations are ongoing.
It's absolutely insane. So no one's been caught for the murder, but a disabled man's been murdered. A disabled man in a wheelchair. Come on, man.
This gang member killed an innocent man for his electric bike.
His electric bike, bro.
Callan killed Rohan Trotman in South London so he could steal his new e-bike. Rohan had been cycling home from Croydon on his new electric bike when he was attacked by Callan and another man. The pair assaulted Rohan and left him bleeding in the street with multiple stab wounds. He sadly died the next day in hospital. The second man fled the country shortly after the murder and has still yet to be caught. Callan had dumped his phone shortly after the killing, and police officers spent hundreds of hours trawling CCTV footage to identify him as a suspect. He was also trying to flee the country after the murder. He had made credit card payments to a holiday company in Spain, booked a flight to Sierra Leone, and paid for a new fast-tracked passport. He was arrested on suspicion of murder. In court, he denied murdering Rohan Trotman, but in evidence he admitted that he had led a life of crime and that he was a career criminal. Yusuf Callan was found guilty of the murder of Rohan Trotman and sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 28 years. Rest in peace, Rohan Trotman.
Pulling out knives and stabbing each other for electric bikes. A young girl has just jumped off.
There's a body in the middle of the motorway. It looks like a young girl lying face down on the motorway.
Did you get a glimpse of how old she might be?
I would say teens, maybe 14, 16, something like that.
I like to think that it's made me more appreciative of what I have and how lucky I am to have family, friends, a good job and a good life.
Luke is the only advanced paramedic on duty tonight. His specialist clinical training means he's often sent to the most critical cases.
You alright, guys?
I'm going to go and check the body, see if there's a mobile phone.
Do you want an hands?
I don't mind, actually.
You best come around this way. That looks like it's a jacket.
There's a vehicle further down, you see the blue lights flashing in the distance. Yeah. They are with another vehicle which is potentially involved in this. I don't imagine, given this scenario, that they're injured. I think it's more about psychologically how they're feeling.
Despite the paramedics' best efforts, the teenage girl was tragically deceased upon arrival. A car was hit at the time. However, despite being shaken, the driver was unharmed.
So sad. Absolutely sad. Don't know what happened there. If anyone does know, do comment down below.
A British teenager is missing and feared dead after vanishing during a swim off a Dutch beach. The 19-year-old girl was with 3 friends from the UK who were rescued after the group faced trouble while swimming in the North Sea. Rescuers now fear the girl may not be found alive after they failed to locate her when her 3 friends were rescued. Crews searched for 2 hours from 8:30 p.m. until shortly after 10 p.m. when it became too dark to see anything. The group of 4 were reportedly from the UK and around the same age. The missing girl's 3 pals are believed to have attempted to rescue her before she vanished, which caused them difficulties of their own. Speaking to local media, an eyewitness told how 2 boys in the group had suffered injuries to their legs and were covered in blood, while an older woman who is thought to be the mother of one of the kids was seen panicking and screaming. Local witnesses added that the water was so extreme the boys would not have been able to save the teenager. The boys barely survived themselves. Their injuries are thought to be caused from being swept against the rocky pier. According to the latest reports from Monday night, rescuers are now looking for a body. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family of the girl and the boys.
Is there any names? Does anyone know who these people are? I mean, for some reason, I feel like this video is just made up. I ain't heard nothing about this, but if this is real, do comment down below. Let me know.
This is the moment stolen Amazon van speeds off after delivery driver was dragged half a mile to his death as he clung on trying to stop thieves.
Oh yeah, I heard about this the other day.
Claudio Carol Condor, 42, was on his rounds delivering Amazon parcels on Tuesday evening when his grey transit van was stolen in Leeds, West Yorkshire. The nightmarish footage comes as West Yorkshire police continues with their manhunt to track down the 42-year-old's alleged killers. The horrific incident took place at about 6:45 p.m. on Tuesday, when Mr. Condor returned to see a man jumping into his vehicle. The footage shows how Mr. Condor tried to stop the theft, but was left fighting for his life on the road and tragically died a short time later. Mr. Condor, who leaves behind heartbroken wife Mariana, was left fatally injured when the van slammed into parked cars in an apparent bid to shake him off. As Mr. Condor lay dying in the street, the thief drove off and abandoned the vehicle 6 miles away in Heights Drive. Update. Eddie Hampshire, 24, from Belle Isle, Leeds, was arrested on suspicion of Mr. Condor's murder following the public appeal. A 32-year-old man had earlier been arrested on suspicion of murder and remains in custody, West Yorkshire police said.
Amazon vans are targeted every single day.
Photos have begun to emerge of the 13-year-old boy who was tragically stabbed to death yesterday in Oldbury. The boy, affectionately known as Zai by his friends and family, was tragically stabbed to death in his own home on Lovett Avenue in Oldbury yesterday afternoon.
In his own home.
Police have since launched an intensive investigation, though no arrests have been made so far. In the latest statement, West Midlands Police Chief Superintendent Kim Medill said, "This is a truly sad and tragic incident where a young boy has lost his life. First and foremost, my thoughts, and the thoughts of all those involved in investigating the death of this young boy, remain firmly with the family and the loved ones. I know this will also have had a huge impact on the wider community who will be shocked and concerned about what has happened. I'm grateful to our officers who attended the address and supported the paramedics as they worked in vain to try and save his life. I'm here to let the family and the wider community know that we will work with you and support you as we seek to find who is responsible for the death of this young boy. We know the incident took place inside his home, and I would appeal to anyone who has information to come forward."
13 years old, incident took place inside his home. Wagwan for the parents. Have they been spoken to? Friends? Is there any CCTV footage outside the home or outside anyone's door that might have seen someone walking past?
The 32-year-old mother who was stabbed at the Notting Hill Carnival has tragically passed away after spending more than 5 days fighting for her life. Cher Maximen, age 32, was enjoying a family day out when she witnessed a fight and stepped in to help de-escalate the situation. Tragically, she was stabbed in the leg with a Rambo-style knife during her intervention. She lost a massive 20 litres of blood, suffered a
Is it me or does she look a bit like Rihanna?
cardiac arrest, and had a collapsed lung, leading to her being placed in an induced coma. Despite the efforts to save her, she has sadly passed away. 3 brothers appeared at Westminster Magistrates Court on Wednesday in connection with the tragic events of August 25th.
I thought that was Patrick. That was definitely Patrick Truman from EastEnders, isn't it?
Among them, 20-year-old Shakil Thibu, who had already been charged with attempted murder for allegedly hospitalizing the mother, is accused of attempting to stab the intended victim. In addition to attempted murder, Shakil faces charges of violent disorder and possession of an offensive weapon. Despite these accusations, he claims he was attacked during the incident. As the case now shifts from attempted murder to murder, Shakil has yet to face the judge.
That's absolutely insane. R.I.P. to that lady there, and condolences to her family and friends.
Did this foreign teenager make a mistake? He was pulled over in the streets of England and couldn't speak English and went onto his phone and basically told the police exactly what he was doing, was searched and then arrested.
Give me a hand. Yeah, give me a hand. What you doing?
What you doing? He does speak some form of English. He understands what's going on.
What you doing? I'll explain.
At this point, he seemed confused about why he's being arrested, as if he doesn't know what he's doing is illegal, but a police officer decides to read out the message that was translated over, and he had told him exactly what he was doing.
Oh, he basically selling food.
Yes, I have drugs, but I found them everywhere. I found them with drug addicts and I wanted to sell them.
Oh, wow. He just snitched on himself. He didn't realize what's going on. He thought he was in Tenerife. He thought they were just going to give him a little slap on the wrist and let him walk away. No, son, you're in Great Britain. Yeah, it doesn't work like that over here, son.
This youngster seems like a very young boy, but he's going to need a good lawyer because he literally admitted to selling them as well, not just even in possession.
This guy in jail is looking at 5 years at a bare minimum, 5 do 2.5.
The identities of a father and his 3 children, who were found dead at a property in Surrey, have been released. Yesterday, at approximately 1:15 p.m, an ambulance crew responded to an emergency call at Bremer Road in Surrey. Upon arrival, they discovered the bodies of 3 children, twin siblings and their brother, all under 4 years old, along with their father, a married Polish national. The police were promptly dispatched, secured the property, and a large number of forensic teams have been working at the scene since.
I swear to you, when it's children, yeah, it's just so emotional. It's so upsetting to hear. I swear to you, when it's children, it's just so upsetting. Like, literally, it's heart-wrenching.
Surrey police have indicated that the incident appears to be isolated and that they do not currently believe anyone else was involved. They have also referred themselves to the police watchdog, revealing that they had previous contact with the deceased family. Details about the suspected circumstances of the incident remain unknown. Neighbours have expressed their shock, with one resident recalling hearing horrific screams from a woman shortly before the police arrived yesterday. He described the event as unbelievable and traumatic, adding that he is still in a state of shock.
They found out who killed this man and his family? Still no news on that? That's pretty interesting.
This Bulgarian gang was jailed for committing Britain's biggest benefit fraud of £53 million. Between October 2016 and May 2021, they made thousands of false claims for universal credit using either real people or false identities. The fraud saw thousands of Bulgarians transported over to London, often by plane at the gang's expense, to make claims for universal credit. Their IDs would be used to start the claim, and then the gang would bolster the application with fraudulent tenancy agreements, employment records, GP letters, or evidence of children. After making their claims, the first payment would go to the claimants, then they returned to their country of origin, leaving their claim in the hands of the organised crime group, who would often withdraw it in cash from hundreds of different bank accounts. The reason the fraud was detected was because investigators were able to spot repeating patterns in the applications. You'd have multiple claims going through one address, which is just not logical for a benefit claim. Multiple claims all using one mobile phone number for communications. For instance, 2 phones were used in 100 fraudulent claims as the numbers for bogus landlords. Analysts working on the scam calculated that the gang had claimed for about a total of £100 million in universal credit payments.
£100 million? Come on, this has to be a joke. How the hell did they accumulate £100 million through universal credit? That is crazy.
Over the nearly 5 years they were
I don't even know how much you get on universal credit, but I'm only assuming it's peanuts. How the hell did these guys get over 100 M?
operating. On the 5th of April 2024, all 5 defendants pleaded guilty to charges of fraud, conspiracy to make false representations and money laundering, and were sentenced as follows. Galina Dimitrova Nikolova, who was one of the ringleaders of the operation, pleaded guilty, and she was sentenced to 8 years imprisonment. Gunesh Magbuleali, the other ringleader, was sentenced to 7 years and 3 months imprisonment. Stoyan Georgiev Stoyanov was sentenced to 4 years. Svetka Manolova Todorova was sentenced to 3 years, but is due to be released on license because of the time she has already served in custody on remand. Patricia Pancheva Paneva was sentenced to 3 years and 2 months imprisonment.
Absolutely rotten behavior, scamming the system, and you think you're going to get away with it. No, not over here, mate. Not over here. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in today. Comment down below. Let me know your favorite story. Which one jumped out to you? I mean, they are pretty disturbing, and it does prove that the UK just can't be trusted. The society cannot be trusted, especially when you have postmen sniffing your shoes outside your front door. That's when you know things have gone absolutely left. But anyway, make sure we hit the like button, do subscribe to the channel if we are new, turn the notification bells on so you don't miss out on future videos like this. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one.